Welcome, everybody, to the PHDJ podcast. My name is Mike.
Yo, it's Joe.
How are you, Joe?
Good morning, sir.
Listen, we have done our best over the last 18 months to stay upbeat and positive and optimistic, and we've actually gotten a lot of compliments about that, which is nice. And not that we can't do that in this episode, but I do want to begin by paying some respects to people who have passed in our industry recently. It has been it's been a rough year and a half, but specifically the last few weeks. I mean, Blake Vaughn passed, Bill Smith just a couple days ago, and I saw you put up a nice tribute. And the one that probably hit me the hardest was Andy Ebon, who was a friend of mine, a mentor, and somebody who I talked to on a fairly regular basis. We had a lot in common, and he was about 10 years older than me and shared so much of his knowledge and experience with me. He was so generous with his time. So
he's a baseball guy too, right?
He also was a fellow New Yorker, even though he had moved out west. He grew up in the Bronx. I grew up in Queens. So, and a fellow Met fan, and and a fellow public speaker. There were a number of times where we were on the same roster and schedule. He was speaking and then I was speaking, or vice versa. So yeah, man, I just spent a lot of time with him whenever I visited him, whenever I was in Vegas, and just a really nice guy. And I just wanted to pay my respects in the beginning of the show to some great talent and some great guys who have passed this summer.
Yeah, Bill Smith, same, lived here. It was probably one of the first people that I really connected with when I started Bunn DJ Company, when nobody knew me here 20-some years ago. Was always the nicest guy. He was, whenever I posted something the other day about it, a lot of people were like, oh, I knew him from the forums. Remember when there used pre-Facebook?
Yeah,
there was that prodj.com forum?
Right.
And he was the moderator, I think, for the karaoke panel or the forum.
Yeah. DJ Chat was another big one.
DJ Chat, I think he was in that too. And anyway, he was just like an early adopter of those forums and being a moderator, and great singer, great DJ, class act. I learned countless things from him that I passed on to you guys that listen to this, and to my guys that work for me. And so, yeah, it wasn't COVID. I think he had a heart attack. And
that's what I heard. He had a heart attack. I mean, this isn't about COVID. I don't think Andy died of COVID.
Right.
So it's really just about, if there's a lesson to be taken away here, it's just, cherish every moment, man. We, if the last year and a half hasn't taught us all that, we're never going to learn that lesson. And the other thing, and I posted this on Facebook too, I was so moved by the outpouring of love after Andy died. So many great posts the day he passed and the day after he posted. And I just hope that if you have somebody in your life that you would write something like that when they pass, I hope you tell them that when they're still alive, because it's wonderful to see those things post mortem. But man, just take a moment. If you have a mentor in your life or somebody you love or just a good friend, just take a moment to let them know that,
That's my biggest regret. You know what I mean? I had not seen him in a year or two. Hadn't really spoken to him, and you just sometimes you don't get a chance to say goodbye, and I guess that was my biggest.
Yeah, I knew Andy was sick the last few weeks, and I had an opportunity to text him, and we had one conversation a few weeks ago. So I think I did. I think I had the opportunity to tell him those things.
Right.
But I wish I had done that before. The end was as near as it was. So if there's a lesson to be taken away, So that's all. Just tip of the cap and rest in peace.
To all those guys.
Exactly. So now we do one of those Galway weather segues, which if you're a frequent listener of the show, you get the reference. If not, go back and listen to that story. It's a funny one. I'll never forget. I want to talk about interaction, Joe, and I haven't given you the setup on this because I wanted to get your I basically wanted to get your instantaneous reaction rather than well thought out. I've always said that interaction and specifically line dances are going to be cyclical. If you go back 20 years, they were pretty much in, and you pretty much needed to do a line dance or two at almost every single event. And certainly things have changed in the last 2 decades to the point where I wouldn't say they're completely out, certainly not by my clients, but I get a fair amount of my clients who say no line dances.
When you say a fair amount, is that like 50%?
Yeah, I'd say about 50%.
Okay.
And then of the other 50%, I probably get half of those that don't give me an opinion either way. So
Okay.
I have free range if I want to, but I don't have to, and then the last 25% probably ask for a Cupid shuffle or a wobble or a cha-cha slide or something like that. So that's in my personal clientele. That's pretty much the breakdown. But I have noticed in the last few months a slight uptick. I'm not going to say huge, but a slight uptick in being asked to do a wobble or a Cupid shuffle or something else. And I have a theory, and this is where Joe is hearing this for the first time. My theory is that TikTok is bringing this stuff back in because TikTok is basically, I don't spend a lot of time on that platform, but it looks like for the most part, people doing some kind of choreographed dance. It had become really, really popular. I just put my latest September new music mix together. I'm going to release it. When is this going to drop? Tomorrow. So it'll release the day before. So if you want to go hear it, go back and listen to Mixcloud, find me DJ Mike Walter and give it a listen. And 2 of the 17 songs that I included specifically have risen to prominence because of TikTok line dances or TikTok choreo, whatever you want to call it.
Sure.
So do you agree, disagree, or have no opinion on it? Do you think TikTok may be affecting the way, basically my theory is I think it's becoming less cheesy and less foreboding to do a choreographed dance because we're seeing literally millions of videos being made of fancy like.
A day.
Or exactly. Or Iko Iko or you know what I mean? Like these songs are showing people that, hey, it's cool and can become viral to do some kind of line dance. Opinion?
I love that I'm hearing this for the first time. Okay, so a few takes on it. First and foremost, yes, I think you are onto a really solid theory. My breakdown is about similar to yours in terms of clientele. Half no, 25% don't care. The other 25% want 1 or 2. I don't know that I've seen an uptick. That's been pretty much standard for the past few years. Let's say 4 to 5 years. I definitely hear what you're saying about TikTok. Maybe it is again like the gateway to it's okay. It's the gateway drug to
that could be. I hadn't thought about using that as an analogy, but that could be. Yeah,
to being the choreographed things are okay again, or it's okay to dance in public or to post yourself. I like that. I mean, listen, we both can agree that no doubt, just like you said, the mix you just made. X number of the X songs that you put on the mix are there. There's no doubt that they would have not been popular songs without TikTok, probably. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sort of reminded of 40 years ago when MTV first broke. And MTV, especially in its early days, was responsible for launching a number of songs,
no doubt,
that weren't getting radio love, but they had some kind of clever, unique video. And so they became, they rocketed up on MTV, and then finally radio started saying, "Oh shit, I guess we got to play, Come On Eileen."
Eurythmics, Sweet Dreams.
Weren't gonna, yeah, exactly. We weren't gonna play that song, but now we have to. So I wonder if TikTok is becoming that platform, and not only launching songs, but like you said, introducing the fact. Like I played Fancy Like at both of my events this past weekend, and both times. There were a number of people that got out there and were doing some version without me leading it, because I don't know the dance yet, but just like dropping it without saying a word, and they hear it and they come out and start doing some version of the TikTok dance.
Did you just play like a portion of it, Mike?
I have a jump part on the Applebee's, and I think both times I jumped, so I shortened the song a little bit. But yeah, I mean, it's, and I get, is your point in asking that question that TikTok is also just a snippet?
Yeah, I mean, kind of. Yeah. Did you let it ride out? But okay, so let me go back though, because the more I think about this though, could this be, Mike, though, also based on the age of clients and the year songs came out? So in other words, you and I both know, and we've talked about this ad nauseum on this show, about like a few years ago, it was everything was Britney and NSYNC and Backstreet because of when those songs came out and the age of the client. Now, I mean, I literally played at least 6 or 7 pop punk songs from like
Right.
2000 something.
It's so funny. I'm actually looking up the year of Cupid Shuffle.
Right.
Because I be honest with you, with line dances, I kind of forget.
I can't.
2007. So Cupid Shuffle definitely plays into your. If your theory is it's also because these songs are coming back around and becoming retro. Cupid Shuffle 2007 and Wobble 2008. Holy shit! I hadn't thought about that, Joe. That also might be part of it. Cha-Cha Slide is about a decade before.
I don't know. I don't remember that either. I'm horrible with the years.
My guess. I'm looking it up now. My guess is going to be late 90s for Cha-Cha Slide. 2000. All right, so I was close. Yeah. So that could be a part of it too. You know.
I think it's both. I honestly think it's both. But like you. The influence of TikTok on pop culture, on what kids think is cool, how they dress, music is undeniable. And I just want to give you I want to give you a plug real quick, and because we're recording this on September 1st. So I started
this, by the way.
I literally posted it right before we went live. So I started actually reading Mike's 700-page book. On This Date in Music. If you don't have it, on thisdateinmusic.com. The most I'd done, Mike, to be fair, was thumb through it, pick it up every once in a while. Literally sits on my coffee table at my place. Pick it up every once in a while, thumb through it. And so now, about a week ago, I called Mike and I said, I have your TikTok idea. And I said, I think you should do a little 30-second blurb every day from the book on TikTok. So today, September 1st, 1988, Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock went to the top of the charts.
Good one to start with, huh?
I was like, this is like serendipitous, if that's even the right word.
Ooh,
this is it. And so today, I just dropped that one. I put it on TikTok and Instagram Reels, and in the caption it says, "This came from the book DJ Mike at DJ Mike Walter, www on this date in music." In fact, the captions I had first were wrong because I had On This Day in Music, which you said somebody else's own. And it's On This Day.
I was originally going to name the book On This Day in Music.
And it was taken,
somebody had that website. So, similar to when some people have asked me, hey, I'm starting a new company. How should I come up with a name? I go, get the website first.
Get the Instagram handle.
Exactly, right. But thank you for doing that, Joe. And by the way, when Joe proposed that idea to me, I said, dude, great idea. I don't
have the time. That's what he said. And I was like,
insanely busy. Yeah.
I literally woke up one morning, I'm texting Mike. I'm like, I've got your idea. And he was like, I can't do it. And I was like, okay, what if I just credit your book? And he's like, roll with it.
Yeah.
So I think I did, Mike, at least 21 of the 30 days in September. Wow. And I'm super excited about it. 30 seconds.
You're going to drop them on the day of.
Yes. Today.
Well, you know what? And I can't wait then to see September 11th, because that one, I think, of all the days, I'm super, super proud. That's one of the ones I wound up.
I'm not gonna lie. I think I skipped it. I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't.
I wound up talking about the national anthem.
Yeah, I know. I read it, and
I had to tweak the date to get it to fit in there. But I just thought
I know. I read
when I was putting the book together. I thought if somebody does read it every day on that date, what are they going to, especially an American, what are they going to want to read on the morning of September 11th? And what better than the story of our national anthem? I was really proud of the way I put that together. Anyway, thank you, Joe. Thank you for the effort with this.
Man.
And thank you for wedging that into this topic. I wasn't looking for that.
Sorry, man. I know, but I want people to watch these, and and I even put a call to action. I said, if you knew this, give me a like. If you didn't know, you got to follow me. And so that's kind of how I end each of them. So I mean, it's 30 seconds. So like I would read the article, and then I'd walk over against that white wall and be like, okay, hit record. And most of them I could do in one take, man. Wow. And the stories are so good, Mike. And I did not know 19 of the 21 stories.
That's
like
cool.
The Eric Clapton thing, that's this month.
Oh my God, Wonderful Tonight is such a great story.
Dude,
oh my God. Talk about serendipitous.
Dude,
the fact that He's waiting for his girlfriend to get ready to go to a party, and she's taking forever. And he sits down and writes that song.
He's not down there cussing. He just picks up a guitar and just writes.
Or just wasting time, like so many of us nowadays. We would be on TikTok wasting time.
Yeah, exactly.
And he starts strumming away, and
this guy writes a masterpiece.
And she finally comes down, going, "I'm sorry, I kept you waiting." And he's like, "Honey, take a listen." It's late in the evening. She wonders what. Anyway, so. Getting back to the
sorry.
interaction, I wanted to also just make this point. I know I've said this before, but the people who say, the DJs who say, I won't play line dances or I won't lead line dances, I just think you are shutting yourself off. It is the same thing as those other people who say, beat mixing isn't important. I don't need to be, I've been DJing 35 years. My clients don't expect me to beat mix. Why would I start learning now?
Yeah.
Open up your mind, expand your horizons. If I'm right, and if a year from now, this slight uptick that I'm seeing has become a little bit more of a trend, and more clients are saying, yes, I want the wobble. Yes, I want Cupid Shuffle. Yes, I want... Why would you deny yourself those clients? And why do you want to be on record as saying, nah, I don't play those? And listen, I'm going to see Nick Spinelli in a couple weeks. We're going to the Cowboys game, so maybe he can tell me, or maybe he can do one of his videos to counter this point. But other than the cheese factor, and again, I think TikTok is eliminating the cheese factor. Other than that, I don't want to be associated. Why would you not add that tool to your toolbox and say, sure, if you want line dances, I can not only play them, but I know how to lead them? Why wouldn't you do that?
Exactly. And I think it goes back to customer service. I think it goes back to what we do. We signed up to be a mobile DJ. We're not Ghetto. We're not Tiesto. We're not Calvin Harris. We didn't make these songs. We are artists. I won't argue with that. I still think we are artists of a sort. I think we're purveyors of music. I think we're dance floor fillers, whatever you call it. And if it's not about what I like I've said before, I don't ride around and listen to Brick House in my car. But if somebody wants to hear it on a Saturday, or wants to hear the Cupid Shuffle or the Cha-Cha Slide, damn it, I'm going to play it. You know what I mean? Like, that's my job. That is what I do. When I go to the bank to make a deposit, it is her job to take the money, put it in the bank. It is my job to fill the dance floor, to meet requests, to play the songs that make people dance. And I don't get these people that have that elitist mentality, or are not willing to do any of the things that go along with becoming a not aging DJ, an experienced DJ, like you talked about in New Jersey. Everything about what you and I have done the last 30 years has changed. Go back and look at your pictures of what you wore, your hair, your music, your gear, the way you talk on the microphone. Like, everything about your show has changed drastically, from records to digital.
And 5 years from now, it'll be different than
it'll
it is
be different.
Today,
it'll be different.
Everything else. So yeah, I don't. That if you find yourself saying about anything in our industry, I don't need to add that to my show, or I don't do that for whatever reason, I would just encourage you to just re-examine that philosophy.
Or step aside and let your people do it.
Yeah. Or at least, and I think this is where the Nick Spinellis of the world at least are honest with their clients. At least be honest with your clients up front. Don't say to clients, hey, I'll do anything for you that you want. If you have that philosophy of, no, if you want the Cupid Shuffle, I'm not your DJ. If you, as long as you market yourself that way, I guess that's fine. My question would be, why? I mean, I did a wedding Saturday night that was a fun wedding. Dance floor packed the whole night. They wanted 3 line dances. I did all 3 of those line dances. And I mean, all those line dances did was make it more fun. So why would I not? Why would I want to have said no to that?
You're the fun killer at that point.
Yeah, exactly. I don't get. They paid well. They paid our top dollar package.
Sure.
And it was a great party.
Sure.
I'm not above dropping the wobble. And now, P.S., I understand why I'm not the right guy to listen to this, because I actually enjoy doing those dances.
I know you do.
I like getting on the dance floor and shaking them up, and especially the wobble. To me, it's an inside joke when I can go, get in there. You know what I mean? So I'm in my mind, I'm going, hey, I'm telling a whole room full of people to get in there.
Right.
But I don't mind. I don't mind it. So maybe I'm the wrong guy to listen to this for this, but I just don't see why you'd shut it out.
I think you're the exact right guy. I think this is a good a good little topic, man. I'm glad you brought this up.
Good.
I'm glad you surprised me. You jumped me with it because I didn't want to overthink it, but that just popped into my head. You know, the generations thing and the timing of when they came out.
And it could be a combination of both, Joe.
Hey, I did this song in high. You know, I remember this at my high school dance or whatever. Like, here they are getting married. Bring it back.
Cool. Very cool.
Awesome, guys. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed this. What's our we do have a teaser. Maybe, Mike, we could have done these in the wrong order. Because didn't we tease the fact that we were going to bring in tips?
So, that was a 2-week teaser. That was a 2-week in advance teaser.
All right. So the next episode, we're going to talk about some tips sent in by you guys and some that Mike and I do that put us at the top of the vendor list food chain. How about that? There's your teaser.
I like it a lot.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Ciao.
Later.